Send your wives to Target, put your kids to bed.
It's grunt time. Here we go. Episode 9.
Damn.
Already. And so we kind of had this podcast laid out for Easter because we were going to film last night. And we didn't, thanks to our lovely wives who wanted us to spend time with the family on the holiday.
Shame on them. They wanted us around for a holiday.
Yeah. So happy Easter to all of our followers.
Yes, friends, followers, family, happy Easter. Thank you for supporting Garage Time.
All right, let's get right into it. Unsolicited advice. So I came up with this because at Easter, we take pictures with the family, and then we're always like, oh, do we have to? Yeah. And take the pictures. Like, that's all you're going to have someday.
Right.
Do you do the same thing when you're out?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's easy because, you get your picture taken so much sometimes at work. In the last year, I've had my picture taken more than I think I ever have.
Right.
But you sit there with your family, and sometimes it's like, okay, you got to take 5 pictures because the kids aren't smiling or whatever. And it's like, okay,
this kid needs to smile. The next one, the other kid needs to smile.
Kyle, look at the camera. But
bird.
I mean, it matters. Yesterday on my Facebook memories, it popped up some pictures that I had posted a few years back of pictures that I found from when I was a kid, like me and my sisters doing Easter eggs hunt and stuff. And I was like, I mean, these are kind of cool to have.
What?
Someday when the kids are gone and doing their own things and I'm old or dead and Crystal's on to her next husband, these are going to be nice to have, I want him to be sitting there looking at my picture on the wall so he's not ever happy.
Right. Yeah. I can't amount to what that guy was.
Right.
So, we took one with my mom, me and my siblings, and kind of made me realize, but obviously my sister got married this past year, so we had those, but just family get-together pictures, we don't have that many of those.
Yeah, I mean, and they don't. And a lot of times, especially when it comes to your wife or when it comes to you, you may have pictures of the kids playing ball or sporting events or school or something along those lines, but pictures of you with the kids, those aren't as big, you know? You can go months at a time and have 100 pictures of your kids and none with you with them.
But
so
yeah, you get to a birthday party oh man, I haven't taken a picture since last year's birthday party.
Yeah.
Or Christmas, which was 6 months ago or whatever, So yeah, take the pictures, fake the smile if you have to. I hope you don't because it's your family.
Right. I mean, you can find a reason to smile for one fucking picture.
Yeah. So,
and that's what I told my kids yesterday because they were giving me some attitude. They're I don't want to take a picture. I'm like, it makes your mom happy. She does a lot for you. Go up there, smile, take the damn picture.
Yep.
But honestly, that kind of goes for us too.
Right. It goes for the husband just as much, if not more.
Right. Take the damn picture.
Yeah. No. You're I don't want to. I would rather go inside and drink beer in the garage with the other guys.
Right.
But, go take the picture, hang out.
Let's be honest, we can sit here in front of the camera for you guys every week, so surely we can take one picture with our family.
Well, I hate taking pictures with my family because they make me look worse. I'm just totally kidding. Totally kidding. I have 2 beautiful children and an awesome wife, so.
The camera makes me look fat.
Yeah. I mean, you are fat.
Well, that's true.
I know 5 fat people and you're 4 of them.
He's the other one.
Speaking of fat people, their favorite food is probably pizza, right?
It's probably up there.
No, so another point tonight, best way to cut a pizza.
Ooh. So if I'm cutting it at home, I think the only way to cut it is triangles. And usually, 8 slices?
8 slices, yep.
Yeah. Restaurants, if they cut it into squares, I don't hate it, especially if it's a big pizza. Over the weekend, we shared a really big pizza at Fun City.
Right, yeah.
I don't know how big they are. They're huge.
30 inches or something.
Yeah, and that's cut into squares. And that was fine because there was a lot of people sharing it.
Right.
But at home, dude, I don't think I've ever cut it into squares. I don't think it's crossed my mind.
Well, if you cut it in a square, you get more pizza.
It's the same amount of pizza.
Well,
right?
you get more pizza. I mean, you eat 3 or 4 pieces versus just 1, right?
So I guess since I'm fat, I should cut it into triangles so I eat fewer pieces.
Yeah, there you go. I'm with you. At home, you usually cut it into triangles. We go out to Just Osimo's or Fun City in Burlington, and they do it in squares, and it's like I have to grab 6 for 1.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh my, you're eating so much, but like you said, it's the same amount of pizza.
Oh yeah, the little square. Some of them are bite sized.
Yeah, right.
And you know what? Let's do this. I'll just make fun of my sisters every week until one of them comments on this podcast. But Trish, my youngest sister, she used to have this thing where she would not eat pizza if it wasn't cut in the shape she wants it to be cut in. So like if you order Rosie's or something, I don't want it because I don't like this shape of a piece. And she's tried to justify this as an adult, like, oh, you get crust with every piece if it's a triangle or whatever. But come on.
So, she did the one in a circle. I'm not cutting the whole damn thing. It's one piece. Here we go.
Yeah, if you really want to be a sociopath, you just come in and you cut like a fucking star out of the middle of the pizza and lift it up.
No crust. So I got a question. Speaking of your sisters, they come up frequently.
Yeah.
Are they normal or what? Like, what's going on here? They got something.
I think I'm probably the most normal out of them. Best looking.
That's saying something.
Smartest.
Oh, no. So you're out with the family.
Mm-hmm.
You order a Chicago style cut in squares.
Okay. That's hard to
You
eat.
can't do that because
No.
it's thick crust.
Yeah, you can't do that. It's got to be thin crust if you cut it
Yeah,
into squares.
exactly.
There's no other way to do that.
Right.
So
Yeah, nobody wants a thick crust pizza cut up into weird shapes.
that, and if you get like a New York style pizza, like the giant slice that you kind of fold over when you
Right,
eat,
yeah.
you can't really do that with a square
Yeah,
either.
no,
So
exactly.
yeah, I think triangle is the top choice.
Oh, I mean, it's the obvious one.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in geometry in school, they teach you about shapes and, you know.
One, every piece is equal.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time you always end up cutting it a little bit off, but squares, they're a little bit different.
Well, in 2025, we want equality, so that's not a good thing to say. Yeah,
It's not a bad thing to say.
there we go. So we go out to Rosie's. Let's say
Yeah.
it's us, Tush, and the kids.
Okay.
And we order 3 large pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, let's cut this one in triangles, this one in squares, and this one for whatever Tush wants.
I mean, you could do that. I feel like Tony's going to be pissed at us.
Oh, he probably would. But I mean,
Hey, man, that was a terrible Tony
ever heard of a
impression.
pissed off Italian?
Yeah. You don't cut it into squares. Sorry.
Like,
I wonder if we asked him,
I'm gonna ask him.
is it squares or triangles? I mean, I know he cuts it in squares.
Well, in squares, yeah.
But I wonder if you asked him, like, can you cut this into triangles?
Well, but see, so family events, squares. The
Yeah.
slices we buy at lunch, triangles.
You're right.
It's a
There's a science to this.
yeah, what is the method to the madness of cutting a pizza? Like, why is it so hard?
I guess maybe if you do triangles, you're doing individual servings.
Yeah.
But you're still going to order 4 fucking slices.
Well, I mean, but the squares is an individual serving too, right?
I mean, yeah, but maybe it's so you feel better. Like if I saddle up to the counter and I'm like, hey, give me 4 slices of pizza because they're triangles. That sounds a lot better than me going up there and give me 10 of those square pieces.
Right.
It's no wonder I'm fat.
Oh, my God, look at this guy.
Right? You just want the pizza there, buddy?
Right. So I guess I'd like to hear back some feedback from our fans and our followers. Which way do you like to have your pizza cut? You know, is it the triangles, or are you a square, or are you some other weird shape? And maybe for the first time ever, Trish can comment and tell us what she likes, because I'm curious now.
Let's do this. Later this week, I'm going to put a poll on our Facebook page, triangle, square.
Perfect.
I want to see if people fight over this.
Yeah.
I want to see some keyboard warriors being like, oh, no.
Garage time will bail you out.
We got you.
All right, let's keep it on. So, one cool thing we did this past week was try to get affiliated
Yeah.
with other vendors.
Other vendors, other products. We've been networking with other podcasts. We've been reaching out, trying to see like products that we're passionate about. Can we tell people about them and maybe earn some money for the podcast too?
Right.
I'm being honest.
So obviously, if you followed TikTok or any other podcasts, we're big sports people. We're a sports podcast. We're coaches, and baseball season's here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we both have practices. That's why we're filming so late tonight. But sunflower seeds are a must in baseball.
Absolutely. And we, like he was saying, between the two of us, we coach 5 baseball and softball teams. Like we spend a lot of time on the field. As he said, we're recording late because honestly, we almost didn't get dinner tonight. Sunflower seeds can be like a meal
Exactly.
substitute. I mean, they can hold you over during that game. I had a game last year. It was a 10U game, and it lasted 3.5 hours.
Oh, man.
And I'm here to tell you that I'm standing in that heat, and the only fucking thing I had to eat that whole time was sunflower seeds. And by the end of it, your mouth's so dry that you're just like,
Yeah.
you know,
Put them all. You get a big old like dip size over
Yeah.
here. Chew it up, spit it out.
you're spitting and it's running here.
It's
You
running down
don't
here.
have enough saliva to spit it out.
Sitting there wiping it. Oh wait, he gave me the steal sign. Kid takes off.
Yeah.
Shit.
Damn it. So, sunflower seeds, you know, traditionally, I grew up, it was almost always like David's.
Oh, I mean that
sunflower
was
seeds.
back in the '90s and early
Yeah.
2000s. That's what it was.
Now-
we didn't have all these other flavors.
Right. Now they came out with Bigs and things like that,
Right.
where they're Taco Bell flavored
Yeah.
and Frank's Red Hot Sauce and dill pickle and stuff like that. I'm going to be honest, like, before recently, just OG, just plain sunflower seeds.
Really?
I didn't like a whole lot of the different flavors, to be
Man.
honest.
Got to
But
get this guy introduced to some things.
some of these flavors that I've tried with these sunflower seeds, like, changed my mind. These are good.
Yep.
So,
So everybody's probably heard of Smackin'.
yeah,
or-
it's viral. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it should be. So we have gotten affiliated with them, and we actually have our own link. It'll be shared here. It'll be in the comments. It'll be on the Facebook and the TikTok as well.
Yep.
So please go order some.
You get a
using
little-
our link.
You get a little bit of a discount. We get a little bit of commission. And honestly, these sunflower seeds are awesome. So we've got a couple of packs here just to start out. And I've got cheddar
I'm liking the
jalapeno. He's got garlic parmesan.
Garlic parmesan. Yeah, you can't see this very well.
Yeah, the bags
There it is.
are really easy. I mean, they're decorated well.
Yeah.
And these seeds, one of the things that I like about them, we were talking about before the podcast actually, is these seeds are big. Like, and I kind of like that, especially amateurs that maybe don't like eating sunflower seeds as much. Like, that's pretty decent size. And if you're one of them that can't get it cracked, so you just end up swallowing the shell out of shame or whatever, like that big one is easier for you to split. And
Put it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
There
not
we go
overly
on that.
salty, good flavors. Yeah, I'd recommend them affiliate or not.
Right, but yeah. No, give a shout out. How many different flavors do they have?
I think right now I'm guessing 11 or 12. The most recent was ranch flavor, and then here we go again. This has now come up more than the SEC bias bullshit, but the most recent is a ketchup flavored one that I will never try. I can't believe every podcast.
We know which ones you're not ordering.
Yeah, I can't believe every podcast we've talked about how much I hate ketchup, but
It's a popular trending subject.
yeah, maple brown sugar.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Cinnamon churro, barbecue, the OG if you just want original, cracked pepper.
Okay, so here's this. You get all these different brands. Why do they all stick with the OG original?
I guess some people just like them. I mean, some people just like the plain salt, but and these are not overly salty either,
Right.
which is kind of a good thing. The other cool thing, if you click on our link to go to the website, it asks you the first thing that pops up, and if you're not interested, you can click out of it, and then you're able to shop. It asks you for a flavor submission. So if
Oh,
there's
okay.
a flavor out there that you want to try, you can actually submit it to Smackin', and I mean, they read it all.
I'm saying your frozen ice cream hot dog.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
I mean,
I was,
hey,
I was thinking though, like, what flavors do you think you could do? There's got to be a pizza.
I'm big on the dill pickle.
They do have a dill pickle.
I wasn't, and then like I started coaching high school football, and we chew sunflower seeds on this practice all the time. And one of our players, he broke his collarbone, and then he brought sunflower seeds and he ate them at practice. And he took taco and dill pickle, put them in a bag, and mixed them together.
Oh man,
It's amazing.
they could start doing that. Like Smackin', if you're paying attention right now, you could almost do like that duo thing, like they
Right.
do with the Lay's or the Doritos potato chips, and
Yeah.
like combination flavors.
Yeah, I mean, be awesome.
Ranch and dill pickle.
Ranch and dill pickle. Maybe that's what he brought. I
That
can't
would be
remember.
good.
But it was something like that, and I just remember being like, dude, I want that whole bag. Give it to me.
Right.
I was like, what do you do? He's like, I just took half out, dumped half of this one in, shook it up, and it was like, I don't know, heaven. You know?
Not all heroes wear capes.
Exactly. Yes.
So, but no, I feel like affiliate aside, I feel like sunflower seeds are a must on the baseball
Yes.
field.
So, okay, how do you feel about your players chewing sunflower seeds while they're on the field?
This one's hard.
Because some of them just can't focus.
Right, and that's exactly it. That's what I was going to say. I'm, for the most part, okay with it. If they are out there, especially if they're in the hot corner or they're on first base or something like that, and they're too busy trying to shove sunflower seeds into their mouth, or they're spitting them, or they're digging in their pockets for them, and they're not paying attention, then you got to make an adjustment.
Right.
But if they can, throw some in their mouth when they're walking out there and then focus, I'm good with it.
So I remember, I think it was my first year with Bryson playing 10U. He's playing shortstop, and my grandma gets a picture. He's spitting a sunflower seed out as he's trying to throw the ball. And I bet that throw was probably in right field.
Yeah.
There's no way he did that.
Yeah, he's not paying any attention.
But he tried it. Looks cool in the picture,
Well, and the other thing, so I heard somebody complain about this last year, and honestly, it never crossed my mind. And if you watched a couple of episodes ago, I think it was episode 6, we talked about leaving it better than you found it, which originated as a dugout thing. Somebody complained last year, is it rude to spit the sunflower seeds in the dugout or the ground?
No.
My opinion, no. Honestly, and like I said, big advocate of cleaning the dugout.
But
if you sweep it out at the end, obviously leave it better than you found it.
Right.
I don't have a problem with this. They're biodegradable. It doesn't hurt the field.
Yeah.
The
worst part is so our field is dirt at home, but if we go to Jacksonville for a tournament, the field is turf. You can't have sunflower seed there.
Oh yeah, so that makes sense.
So that part, it may be not there because you're not supposed to have them anyway. Because it would drain into the drains when it rains. Right,
and clog it up.
Yeah, exactly.
But dirt fields, especially around here,
oh yeah,
I don't see an issue with it.
I hate it when I go out there to drag the field for a game to prep it, and there's no sunflower seeds anywhere. I'm like, what are these kids doing nowadays?
What are they doing?
I'm not saying go out there and dump your bag out and make it look, but
Right, and I mean, it's
show me that you got to chewing the sunflower seeds like we did back in the day.
Yeah, it's not trash. And there's a lot of things about baseball we've talked about that fit into the baseball atmosphere.
Right.
If you're a fan, you're probably drinking a beer, you've got a hot dog, you got to do that. But if you're on the field, if you're playing, if you're coaching, if you're in the dugout, it's sunflower seeds.
Right, sunflower seeds all day long.
Every bit baseball.
So, follow our link. Get some smacking sunflower seeds and sit your butt in a chair and watch your kids and leave the umpires alone.
Yes, please.
All right, let's move it on into sports. Obviously, we got to talk about it. The Cubs, as always, are going to be our number one topic until, they're no longer our number one topic.
Right.
So
they're 14-10,
yeah.
And I felt like the last week since our last episode, I felt like we were starting to slow down. We were starting to play worse. But I think that's a testament to how good we were playing. Because we almost swept Arizona again. We still won the series, which means the only series that we've dropped was the most recent one against the Padres. We tied Arizona in the first series, and then we lost to the Dodgers in Tokyo.
Right.
But we've won 6 series now.
So, and you talk about it and we talked about it multiple times at this point, is how tough their schedule really is.
Yeah.
And I was reading an article or a link or something on Facebook, and it was talking about if any other team played this schedule, they'd be 2-20. So it's impressive.
Well, and we're almost there because they have a day off today. It's Monday night. Tomorrow they start a series against the Dodgers at Wrigley.
Right.
Dude, we've played the NL West a lot.
Yeah. So my thought is we shouldn't have to play them again until October.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah. So then after that, we're moving on to the Phillies and the Pirates, which the Phillies are no slouch and the Pirates are scrappy, but those feel better than Dodgers, Padres.
Man, and honestly, I like watching them play Schwarber.
Yeah.
And Harper, watching those guys, so that'll be cool. If they're playing Pittsburgh, I want to see Paul Skeens pitch. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's good to watch. And last year, I don't know if he's still on the roster. I'm going to admit I don't know this one. Chapman was on Pittsburgh's roster.
Oh, Loudest Chapman.
And I love
2016, baby.
I got to see him pitch in person, and holy shit, that guy can throw smoke.
And he is huge.
Yeah.
Not a small dude.
So I don't know if he's on the roster this year or not.
I feel like he is, but...
I think he is. But
I feel like I've seen him in a highlight or something.
Yeah.
Could have been last year's, too. So.
I think so. But, they're playing great ball. I saw earlier a stat, and it said that the offense, obviously they're leading the league in runs and everything.
Right.
But this offense... Run differential,
right, yeah.
This offense has been hitting at a clip that no Cubs team has done since 1936.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit. And that counts 2016.
Right.
The thing that's killing us is the bullpen, man.
It is, yeah. And I feel like we say that every year, last couple of years.
Exactly. It's always the bullpen, and it never gets fixed.
I mean, we were up, 5-0, went down 10-5, came back up 11-10, won the game 13-11. I had a buddy that was at that game. That'd be a roller coaster of emotions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you scored, 21 runs in 2 innings combined.
Yeah, and you let up 10 runs in an inning. Yeah. Like, Jesus.
So, and I remember reading it was like, at the first time that, we've had 2 grand slams, like 2 of every home run or something like that, all the base hits in a single game. Right. And we did it in 2 innings.
Yeah, we did it in 2 innings. And the other thing, they said, first team to come back and win when they allowed 10 runs in an inning. And I'm like, that's maybe not something to be proud of, though.
But, that's like a LeBron stat.
Yeah.
Like, we're making up a stat to make you guys look good.
Right. And honestly, while we're talking about the Cubs, I'm going to say it because there's no such thing as bad publicity unless it involves your dog, right? Episode 6 again. But lay off Hap.
Oh my God!
If you're watching this, lay off Hap. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I get it. He's had like 2 or 3 errors already in this season, which is unheard of for him.
Right.
He's a fucking good brother, dude.
And he's already saved a couple of games with his glove.
Yeah. Or his bat. I mean, he gets hits,
Yeah, like come on, man.
You expect the pros to always produce, but this guy has been consistent for the last 5 years. One of the most consistent guys we've had.
When everybody's always like, he has such a bad attitude. I don't think he has a bad attitude. I think he's chill. Well, he's calm.
He's a dick. I was actually walking after a Cubs game once, and we were behind him. And one of the guys I was around said, "Oh, why don't you get his signature?" And he turned around and was like, "I don't do that after hours." Like, he was kind of a dick about it. They did lose the game.
Yeah.
Pretty bad, I believe. 12-2 against the Dodgers.
Damn.
So it could have been just pissed off, like I would be.
Could have been.
But don't take it out on the people who are paying money to see you.
And that's one thing I'll give a lot of credit to PCA about.
Oh,
that dude is 100% into the fans.
Yes.
Like, he is, you feel like you're part of the game every time that PCA comes up to bat. And I do love that about the current Cubs. But no, I don't get it. Like, Hap hit a grand slam the other day, and I got on that post, and most of the comments were, well, one grand slam doesn't make up for all of this. And I'm like, what the fuck?
But, I mean, it does.
I mean, I would think so. But if one grand slam doesn't make up for mistakes, then how does one drop ball take the place of all the gold gloves?
Exactly. Exactly.
It just, it's crazy. I've seen so much of it the last week, and it drives me nuts.
I'm hoping that we get this much needed day off, and then obviously we're at home against LA. And I'd like to see, obviously sweeping the Dodgers is a hard task, but at least, let's win the series again.
Yeah, if we take that series, move on to the Phillies, I mean, we're in the process of an 8-game homestand. Yeah. And a lot of the games, that's the other thing. It's a hard part of the schedule. We haven't played a lot at Wrigley.
Well, what was it? So we played 23 games. 8 of them have been at Wrigley.
Yeah.
So.
Which means we got an easier schedule, and we got home games coming up.
Yeah.
So Assad's going to come back. They picked up, everybody was bitching about this too, they picked up some bullpen depth today.
Yeah.
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be okay. I'm not expecting us to win 100 games,
No.
500 baseball, win the division, get a game or 2 in the playoffs.
Anything happens.
Call it a win for this season.
Yeah, October's a new season.
Yep. So let's keep it rolling. What do we got next?
WrestleMania.
Whoop, whoop. So
41?
Yeah, 41.
Okay.
Yes, it was. So Saturday night we were texting each other like, oh, let's hang out in the garage. I had WrestleMania on. A couple other friends were over, and we watched it, and we kind of got to realizing how much we don't watch WWE anymore. And honestly, a lot of it is the storylines suck.
And it's predictable.
Yeah, it's way like tonight. It's Monday night, so Raw's on. Orton's already chasing Cena after Cena won the title last night.
Oh, really?
Like, just tell me how you're now gonna make this
right.
No.
Well, and even the triple threat match, like you had, Seth Rollins and CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and the way that ended, with Paul just completely backstabbing everybody. Like, how many times have we seen Paul?
Right. Yeah. I'm tired of Paul Heyman.
Oh, dude.
He's been around too long.
Living off of everybody else.
It was funny when it was new, but the dude's been doing it for so damn long. Yeah. And that's another thing we're talking about. they keep trying to save the WWE and bringing back all the legends.
Right.
Like, can we just like try to make the new guys good?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you rely on CM Punk, you rely on Cena, you rely on these people to come back and make it good. And a lot of people said, I was reading some reviews, commentary on WrestleMania today. A lot of people said that the one thing that saved this WrestleMania was the women's matches.
Mm-hmm.
Were like phenomenal.
They were some of the best I've seen.
Yeah, and they said that was the best part of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's encouraging.
Well, the Cody Rhodes, John Cena, which was the main event, was terrible, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It wasn't all that great. Like, it's the same thing you've seen Cody Rhodes do, or the same thing you've seen John Cena do forever.
Right.
Like, nothing new happened. It was back and forth until Cena just won it,
So what was... Let's do this, because we were both talking like some of our favorite wrestlers, tag teams, the Attitude Era, obviously. Favorite WrestleMania?
Favorite WrestleMania? Oh, HBK and Undertaker.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
mean, that was probably one of the best matches of my life. Like,
I was thinking there was one, and I looked it up. It was WrestleMania X7. The main event was Stone Cold and The Rock. The Rock had beat Stone Cold the year before. Stone Cold actually beat The Rock in this WrestleMania. But it was crazy because it had like the end of the Attitude Era.
Right.
So it had The Rock, it had Stone Cold, it had all of these, Kurt Angle, Benoit was on there. And then they had the beginning of the next era. So they had the Hardy Boys, they had the Dudley Boys.
oh, yeah, okay.
So it was just like a crazy WrestleMania where it was like a changing of the guard. And I remember that one. That one was pretty good.
Yeah. So X7 would have been, what's that, 17?
17. So that would have been several years ago.
Oh, man, I would have been what?
Well, I mean, the end of the Attitude Era, so you would have been, what, like a teenager-ish?
10?
Yeah.
10, maybe something like that. So, yeah. No, and I remember glimpses of that. I was on the end stage of it, but like Sting and Hollywood Hogan, who came into NWO, like that was awesome. Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
DX, like that was one of my favorite ones to watch. They were always fun. X-Pac, Road Dogg. But I don't know, something about, when you got to fight Undertaker at WrestleMania, well, I'm putting my streak on the line, you have to put something on the line.
Right.
So HBK had to put his career on the line. And I hated that he had to lose that match. Like, hated it. But man, it was awesome. Like,
Yeah. And
you don't get too many of those. Obviously, there's like been some like SummerSlam matches where you've had the Hell in a Cell, and you throw in like Rikishi jumping off of that on the people, or Undertaker or Kane throwing somebody off the top of it. Like that was the good stuff.
yeah, that was
You don't
good
see
stuff.
any of that anymore.
No, and I feel like even this year, the whole John Cena leading up to WrestleMania and then eventually winning, you saw it coming.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
There wasn't
Well, the thing
that-
is I thought he was going to lose because I was figuring he was done at WrestleMania.
Right.
Well, then during WrestleMania, they put up on the screen that he's going until like October or something. I'm like, oh, he's winning tonight.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. I don't remember, and maybe it was just because I was a kid, but ever being able to predict all the matches.
No, and even then, there was always that shock factor somewhere where, like, you're watching a match and you hear, like, the glass shatter and Stone Cold comes out. And you're like, I didn't see this coming.
That's another thing you brought up. Like, so you're sitting there watching a match, and whose intro makes you jump out of your seat? Obviously, Stone Cold,
Stone Cold, Triple H.
Triple H, The Rock.
The Rock, yeah.
I always like big shows.
Yeah.
Whoa, like that was always awesome.
Right. Something that you knew it was coming out and you were like, holy shit, this is
Yeah.
going to be great. So,
Brock Lesnar for a little while.
yeah.
Sometimes in a tag team match, like if the Hardy Boys or Dudleys came out to interfere, but that WrestleMania that had the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian, that's like one of the top 4 matches of all time.
Yeah. I mean, some of those matches back then were amazing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't think they're ever going to be matched.
Oh no, I mean you can't match that.
No.
It's too impossible.
We need intro songs. Like, what if you're sitting here watching episode 10 next week and you see the microphone sitting here and we're not here, and then off screen you hear the intro music and here we go.
Here we go.
Pyrotechnics. Like,
I'm doing the Rey Mysterio.
yeah.
I'm popping out of the stage, baby.
I'm doing the Bret Hart. No.
Owen Hart, you mean?
Owen Hart, yeah. That's what I knew what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure I wanted to say it on camera, so.
Whoops.
Oops.
That happens, But no, some old WWE fans here trying to just kind of reignite the glory days.
The nostalgia. Which is what they're trying to do too with these old troop.
I mean, yeah, they keep doing it, so why can't we?
Right, there you go.
You know? So obviously Thursday night going to be exciting.
Yes.
The NFL draft is coming from Vegas.
Green Bay.
Who the hell wants to go there?
So I'm trying not to be bitter about this.
Well, I mean, you're a Bears fan, so I can see it.
Yeah, it's Green Bay.
So here's how we're going to kick this off. Who had the number 1 overall pick?
Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, they're drafting Aaron Rodgers. I mean, signing Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
We traded our pick away to get Rodgers. That's all we're doing.
That'd be hilarious.
You got to kick off it. It's in Green Bay, right?
Yeah. Maybe they bring Donald Driver back.
He's got a walker.
Or Green Bay Packer legend Julius Peppers.
Excuse me?
I'm just trying to piss you off.
Damn! I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah.
He played for the Packers, he played for the Bears, but
It's Panthers.
it's
Yeah,
the Panthers.
it's
I mean,
Panthers. Yeah.
he made the Hall of Fame as a Panther. So
And rightfully so.
yeah.
No, the draft, I'm excited about it. Not so much that it's in Green Bay, but hey, shit happens.
Right.
Someday when it comes back to Chicago, and I think it will, I wouldn't mind going to the draft.
That would be cool.
Just to hang out, see what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah, be around the atmosphere of it. Yeah.
Yeah. First pick. Who's Tennessee taking? Everybody knows it, right? It's got to be Cam Ward.
I mean, at this point, I think so. But if I'm picking the first pick, it's probably Travis Hunter.
I think it'll go number 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, Tennessee needs that quarterback.
They do.
But at the same time, like, see, this is the age-old debate, right? Like, do you want to take a quarterback?
I don't know if they can see that or not.
I don't know. Obviously, like, if you think that you have found your quarterback of the future, it's hard to pass up.
Oh, it is. It really is.
But if there's any question in your mind, a lot of these quarterbacks are going to fall.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Like-
Like, to me, this is a very weak draft class for QBs.
Right.
Like, the only one I would take in the first round is Cam Ward.
I do think possibly, depending on how they pick early on, I think that I think that the Saints could trade into the end of the round and maybe look at Sanders.
Okay.
Somewhere in that like 23, 24 range. I think that New Orleans could move up because a lot of people are saying they're going to take him at pick 9. I don't think they're going to take him at 9.
I don't know why you would. Like,
So if they don't, but they consider it,
Right.
then moving up into the first round may be okay. There's also been talk about Cleveland moving into the end of the first round and taking Jackson Dart. With the idea that Jackson Dart's going to need a lot of time to get ready for the NFL,
Right.
but the raw talent, the ceiling is huge.
right. My opinion, Dart is the best quarterback in the draft.
I would go with Dart, especially if you're in need of a quarterback now. I don't know that I would take Dart.
Right.
But if you're somebody that's got the Giants, you've got Jameis Winston, you've got, Russell Wilson there for a little while, bring Dart in, let him learn from some of these guys, get him ready.
But my thing is, like, so many of these quarterbacks nowadays that are getting drafted in the first round, expected to start game 1, fail.
Yeah, they can't all be Jaden Daniels,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, but the thing is, like, so C.J. Stroud has a great rookie year, sophomore slump.
Yep.
We'll see what Jaden Daniels is going to bring.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
we'll see. Expectations will be high.
Like, to me, though, there is so much, like, the offensive side is a little weak, in my opinion. I think the defensive side, that's what you need to be hitting up.
Yeah.
Like, Abdul Carter is going to be great. Like, if
Mason
I'm
Graham,
yeah,
defense out of Michigan. I think he'd be good. Somebody's gonna take a shot at Genty, and everybody's saying it's gonna be the Bears at number 10. I hope that it's not.
Yeah.
And I've been pretty active. If you're on Facebook, I've been pretty active talking about all these different draft picks.
Right.
I've been on the Panthers site talking. There's a lot of talk that they're going to take Jalen Walker or some other people.
I think that's who we need at that pick.
Yeah. And a lot of
If he's
Bears
there,
fans.
I'm not against trading back.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I saw today that I absolutely hate, I hope it doesn't happen, is there's a lot of mock drafts that have the Bears moving up to pick number 6, which is the Raiders, and taking Genty there. You do not have to move up for this kid.
No.
And it's crazy.
I'm sorry, but you can get Cam Scatterbo in the third round, maybe late second, way better.
Well, not only that, Omarion Hampton,
Right.
I think that he should probably go before Genty. Honestly, I wrote down just some weird predictions here. I think that Denver at pick number 20 is going to take Hampton. You know, they
Okay,
just
I like
cleaned
that.
out their running backs. They're kind of late first round, so it's not a high risk pick. I think they take Hampton. Bears, I'd like to see offensive
Is this the
line.
top 10 right here?
This is the top 10 here. So that's
Okay.
the draft order.
All right.
The first three I think are pretty predictable: Titans, Browns, Giants. Obviously,
I
Travis
mean-
Hunter's going in there.
And everybody says Hunter's probably going 3 to the Giants.
Yeah,
You know, so they got, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Hunter.
yep. And I've seen that reverse. Some people say Hunter will go to the Browns, and then Abdul Carter will go to the Giants.
Okay, yeah.
Jags, I've seen some crazy things with Jacksonville. Some are saying that they're going to take Mason Graham and get a good defensive tackle. Some people, there's a big push for this, that they're going to take Genty at 5 because this is Etienne's last year on contract.
Right, it is, yeah.
And try to reset that offense with Trevor
Right.
Lawrence. I still think that's too high.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I'm a big believer that GT is going to be a bust. Come back here in a couple of years and roast me. I don't care, but
dude, I saw.
I'm not impressed with him. Like, you could run for 200 yards running a ball 35 times.
Yeah. And I think the part that drives me crazy about the NFL draft, and I get it, this is sports, right? Announcers are really bad about it, some more than others. But the superlatives, or he's the most polished quarterback since Andrew Luck, or he's the most complete defensive end since Michael Strahan, but you say that every year about somebody different.
Right.
Like, just give me an actual analysis. This is what he can bench. These are his stats.
Right, yeah, no
you know,
kidding.
don't
Yeah.
tell me he's the greatest fucking thing in the world. And why I'm getting to this is what started all of this when I started looking into this. Today I saw the draft analysis of Genty, right?
Right.
Ceiling, Walter Payton.
Oh, my, yeah, of course. He's going to go to the Bears.
Here's the part that pissed me off. Floor, LaDainian Tomlinson.
That's not a floor.
How the fuck do you come in and say somebody's going to be somewhere between LT and Payton?
Oh,
That
yeah,
is
because
insane.
We're the top, 5 running backs of all time?
Yeah, and you just automatically say, dude's going there.
Shut up. And that's stupid. But the thing is so this writer is successful. He got you to read about it.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
Right.
So all he did was stir the pot and get what he needed to be done.
Yeah.
But
And I think when it comes to running back, like you said, I don't think I addressed it high in the draft. Somebody's going to get Genty. Let it happen.
what?
Like we've said, unless you're a Saquon Barkley, follow us, Saquon.
Saquon!
You're not valued in the NFL. You can
Right.
pick up one of the Ohio State running backs. You can pick up Hampton. You can pick up Scatabo. You don't have to jump on running back.
You don't. And obviously, I'm not an NFL expert, and I'm not trained in scouting, and all these guys are. But to think that GT is going to be that great that you would trade up for him, or even pick him in the first round, just beyond me.
Yeah.
Unless you're Saquon or Derrick Henry, most of these guys don't do a backfield anymore.
Yeah, it's a running back by committee.
Yeah.
Um,
Even McCaffrey, CMC was great in Carolina, had a good couple years, but he's always banged up. So running back by committee now,
I think, I feel really comfortable about Hampton at 20. I really see Denver going there. But one pick, as I was looking through this, and I've done several mock drafts, and I know there's a lot of people better at the draft shit than I am. I really like Dallas at number 12, going with Matthew Golden out of Texas.
Okay.
He's
Oh, of course
speed.
he is.
Well, but honestly,
I'm a Texas fan.
a hometown guy, right?
That's
He's
fair.
from Texas.
From Texas.
Dallas is right there.
Yeah.
Great speed, so he's going to stretch the field, which helps CeeDee Lamb.
Right.
Reliable hands. He's a big play guy. He always came through when we needed it. That could be huge.
It could be, yeah. I think obviously Dallas needs something.
Right.
Obviously, they got on paper what should be one of the best teams in the league, and every year it seems like they falter somewhere or another.
If he falls, and he could, do they grab Genty at 12? I still think it's
Do
high.
they trade up to get him?
Oh, I don't know. Does Jerry Jones trade up? Has he traded up?
Couldn't tell you.
I don't know either.
But
Cowboy fans.
I guess my thought is, okay, so Jerry Jones is sitting here well, we had Emmitt Smith, we had Zeke when he started.
Right.
We haven't had anything since. Tony Pollard did pan out, blah, blah, blah.
Do you get that?
DeMarco Murray was great behind that offensive line they had. He went to Philly with nothing. So is Jerry Jones this is my next one.
Yeah. How do you help Dak Prescott more than taking the ball out of his hands?
Take the ball out of his hands.
Right.
You know, I mean, you paid the guy whatever the contract, a stupid amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Players I'm most excited about, and not to stay on the draft so long because our wives are going to say we talked about sports too long.
Yeah, well, they can talk about whatever they want.
Players I'm most excited about, besides the obvious, right? Jackson Dart, I think is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yep.
Scatterbo, I want to see where he goes.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Who?
Taylor, the tight end from community. Where's he from? He's Zach Taylor's nephew, and he's Jason Taylor's son.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to see this kid go pro.
Yeah.
I think he's
Did he
projected.
come from tight end U in Iowa?
No, he came from. God, I'm gonna fuck this up.
Google it. Look it up.
Yeah, I looked it up earlier. I want to say Georgia, and I think that's terrible.
Georgia. Don't sound right. Could be. Well, I mean, when you already have that kind of name with NFL ties, obviously somebody's picking you.
Oh, so I was close. LSU. I knew he was down there
Okay.
somewhere south, but yeah, LSU
Oh.
had a pretty good.
So is this the third round guy you thinking, or
They're saying second round right now.
second round? Okay.
Yeah, he
I
had
like
a pretty
it.
good draft workout.
You
So
know, I mean, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, the tight end becoming a more reliable target than most wide receivers.
yeah, and he's a
I
good.
mean, look at
ball.
Mahomes. He's got Kelsey forever.
Right,
You know, Cam had Greg Olson.
right.
You know, Waiting.
Lamar Jackson has Mark Andrews. Oh wait, no.
Except for in the Super
It's
Bowl.
not- yeah.
Or was it the Super Bowl he dropped that in? No, the
AFC
AFC
Championship. Yeah,
Yeah.
right on the goal line.
So, in big time, you don't have Mark Andrews.
Right.
You know, but the rest of the time, he's damn good. You know.
Any plans for the draft?
Well, Kyle and I have been talking, and we do want to go live on our podcast during the draft. We've been trying to find a guest. You know, asked a couple of people. Basically, I told them to fuck off because we're stupid. You know.
Which is fair.
Yeah, but we are stupid. It's just we're stupid fun. We're
Yeah.
fun stupid. I don't know how you want to word it.
We're fun.
Yeah.
That's what.
We're fun. We leave the stupid out of it. You mean?
Yeah, we can just leave this. Let you guys make your own
So,
decision.
but yeah, look for that. We'll try to be live during the NFL draft. Probably one of the garages.
Yeah.
You know, we can't do it in the house because the kids won't leave us alone, or the wives. I mean, would you leave us alone?
I wouldn't leave us alone. We can barely leave each other alone.
Oh!
But
Don't be telling all our secrets.
oh, sorry, that was
Yeah.
episode 10. No, we're gonna try to go live the first time.
Yeah.
So
It may fail miserably. It may work out great. I don't know. You don't know either until you tune in.
you don't know what the fuck we're gonna say live.
Yeah. Nope, the stupidest fucking pick in the history of picks.
Yeah. Yeah. Watch Devin go nuts when Panthers draft JT.
Oh, I would break my TV.
We're done.
I would break your TV. That would be a bad day. I'd be like, oh.
So we're advertised this Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. We'll go live.
The first half hour would probably be just me
Yeah, probably close.
and
to
our
that.
guests because Kyle has to work till 7, but he will join us
When I can.
as soon as he can. Hopefully before the Bears pick. Let's get rolling on to the GTR.
GTR.
So, peeps, Kyle brought up some interesting facts of the day.
I thought this was cool. So Peeps have been made in the same 3-story factory in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania since 1936. They make over 2 billion Peeps a year, and it's all out of that factory.
Which is why they suck.
I mean, honestly, right?
Like, do you eat them?
Not really.
No.
I buy 'em. I might eat one, like bite the head off a
Like-
peep and then put it away.
I think it is one of the nastiest things you can eat.
I don't like them very much.
Like, it just, I don't know. It's just nasty.
They got a ton of flavors now too.
Yeah. Oh.
Like they have a Dr. Pepper one, which is phenomenal.
A Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, which by the way, if there's anybody out there that wants us to be an affiliate, please be Dr. Pepper.
I'd take Dr. Pepper.
That'd be cool. Dr. Pepper every fucking episode right here. But
We can eat a Mentos and chug a 2-gallon.
But no, not a big fan of Peeps. I just thought it was interesting. American business, been around for almost 100 years. 1936,
I
almost
mean, we're
100
getting there.
years.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
They only really have one time a year that they're productive, which sounds like an awesome job. And
Yeah, but
they make them all out of there. Can you imagine how much you hate Peeps, though? Like, you've worked in that place for 50 years, and you're like, if I see another fucking Peep.
if I hear one,
If I hear another Peep, somebody gives you one for Easter, you just flip the table.
I just flip the table. I'm done.
Done.
Yeah. No, my wife, obviously the Easter Bunny. I mean, got the kids Peeps,
Yeah.
and I just want to throw them away.
The kids usually will open them and they'll eat one because they're really good when they're first open.
Yeah.
And then there's like zip them in a Ziploc bag and never touch them again.
Kids, when they get that like hard outer shelf and it's so nasty.
Yeah, only when they're soft. That's the only time they're good. So, yeah, Peeps. I mean, good for you, American company, doing well. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
But hey, do you?
I mean,
Doing better
I'm
than
sure
us.
half of our 8 followers like Peeps. So
We gained a lot of followers this week.
did we? Yes, thank you.
Yes, this episode is now like the 3rd most viewed on YouTube, and we gained like 4 subscribers this week.
Hey,
so that's
there we
kinda
go.
cool.
So what are we up to? 28, 29?
31, thank you.
31! Whoop! We broke the 30s. You're almost up to my age. What
That's
do you know?
right.
Well, let's keep it on the Easter segment. That's actually what the whole GTR is this time.
Surprise.
So at Easter dinner, what goes on your plate? What are you looking for?
Everything.
Well, everything's always the answer, but like, do you have like specific, like,
So I'm
I'm looking for the deviled egg first. I'm looking for,
So deviled eggs don't go on my plate because
You eat 'em as-
I eat them as I'm walking. Like every time I walk in the kitchen, and my wife will tell you this. Easter Sunday yesterday, my oldest daughter and I were going back and forth into the kitchen, just grabbing an egg at a time. We ate half the fucking tray before we ate dinner.
Right.
But so they don't make it to the plate. But I'm a big ham guy on Easter.
Ham? There
Ham
you
is
go.
good on Easter. Mac and cheese.
always mac and cheese. I think that's every holiday.
Yeah, goulash. Like I don't know, our family's big on goulash.
Yeah.
But everything. I try to get a little bit of everything on Easter, and I usually won't really eat breakfast, and I won't eat supper. It'll just be a really big meal in the middle of the day.
Rookie mistake. You gotta warm that belly up so you
Oh,
can eat
man.
more.
Not like I used to.
No?
My wife made cinnamon rolls this year for breakfast though. Some TikTok recipe, and they were great.
Really?
They were good. Yeah, she made them from scratch.
So we obviously opened up the Easter Bunny stuff, and then I made pancakes and eggs for breakfast.
That's solid.
So it wasn't bad, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, only me and my oldest ate, you know.
What about you though? Like, what Easter dinner? What are you looking for?
So obviously, the ham I could eat like a whole plate of ham and call it good.
Yeah.
You know, but deviled eggs. I don't know. I've always kind of like, and I think my family's weird because they do green bean casserole for like everything,
Oh yeah.
you know. But mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Like,
See-
and I like the mac and cheese when it's runny,
Mhm.
so that I can like slide my ham around in it, get cheese on my ham. Oh, that,
Yeah, Easter is one of those times, like last week's episode, and look it up if you haven't watched it, but last week's episode where we debated if your food can touch on a plate,
Yeah.
like Easter, it's all fucking touch.
well, I think Easter, you know, all the big holidays.
Yeah, Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
it's just
Thanksgiving,
like all in a pile.
Your plate this tall.
The macaroni and cheese is on top of
yeah.
the turkey. Like,
Yeah, you're soaking everything in that cheese.
Yeah.
Now, you know, like you got cauliflower in there, the cheesy now. Whoops, like
yeah. And we had an Easter without ham this year. My father-in-law made a smoked pork loin, and it was pretty good.
okay.
But
We had a very laid back Easter. My grandparents, it was hamburgers and mac and cheese.
I mean, that's cool too.
Yeah,
you know,
no.
So,
Something simple. Obviously, when you have a lot of people, sometimes you go with the cheaper option. You know,
yeah.
you can feed a lot of people with hamburgers and brats and hot dogs. So
Is there any part of Easter dinner that if it's not there, like you notice it's missing? Like this is
the Easter bunny.
Did you eat the Easter bunny? Didn't I say I was going to eat the Easter bunny last? Yeah, last week I said I was going to eat the Easter bunny.
That's awesome.
Deviled eggs. Like if there's not deviled eggs, it just feels
Yeah.
wrong.
If I show up to a family dinner and I'm like, wait, what? I'm leaving.
I'm gone.
I'll go make my own. I'll be back. You know. So obviously, your wife or you, one of the two, put in the group Snapchat of the deviled eggs.
Oh yeah, that was
How
mine.
many did you guys make?
She made so many because, for one, so what we usually do, the kids will dye the eggs, and then we
Oh,
usually
okay.
do
So you
those-
paint them the night before, or whatever.
Yeah, we paint them the night before, whatever, and then Easter morning, the bunny always hides them or whatever. Fucking bunny shits all over my house. And then if you saw a TikTok recently, he shits jelly beans. We proved that on Garage Time.
Good jelly beans, according to Kyle.
They were fucking delicious. But we then peel the eggs, and she makes the deviled eggs out of the dyed eggs.
Okay.
So she wanted more eggs for the kids to do this year. She did 52 of them.
Wait, 52. So you cut them in half.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have any left?
We kept several of them whole, like
Oh,
just
okay.
as hard-boiled eggs. We gave some to Trish because she colored eggs with us. God, there were so many fucking eggs, dude.
God.
So many eggs.
Wow.
This may be the first Easter that we came home with eggs to spare.
Jesus. Well, I mean, I knew your wife was crazy when she got with you. That's pretty crazy, Crystal. Like,
Yeah, it was ambitious.
holy shit.
Yeah, Easter spectacular.
Hey, eggs just special?
It was a little extravagant.
That's the word I'm looking for. Yes. Well, let's keep it on going. Obviously, the Easter egg hunt, which fucking Kyle bailed on.
Yeah, I missed out on that. I didn't get to meet the Easter Bunny again for the third year in a row.
Damn it. So, basically, what we're talking about is the Easter egg hunt and the time it takes to prep for these.
Forever.
So, and I got around looking, like, obviously ours was Saturday at, what, 2?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And there were several towns around us that had them. And I'm just like, all of us are crazy. Like, why would you get together
And do
and do one big one?
Yeah. County egg hunt.
Like, mass produce this thing, and maybe I won't spend 2 nights out of the park filling eggs, you know?
So I did ask somebody, I was like, hey, you're from a smaller town. How do you get all of these eggs done? Like, we have 5 people on our board, plus our wives that we rope into this. How do you do your eggs? And they say that they start posting about it. Like, we're going to fill eggs on this date looking for volunteers. Which, I mean, you might get a few people. We might go from 5 people to 10 or whatever, if anybody in the community actually wants to help, which we did last year. We had some help. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a lot of time no matter
It
what.
really is, and like we've had several people help us out over the years on this, and obviously I tackle like I've been doing it a long time. I've done 4 of them, but still, I've spent 30 hours of my life prepping for an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
Like, that's not counting all the ones that we do with the family, you know.
Do you think that maybe the amount of time that it took to set up an Easter egg hunt is maybe what did Pope Francis in?
Maybe.
Is that too soon?
Yeah.
By the time this drops, it's Wednesday. It's like 4 days later.
Right.
All right. So he probably hid a bunch of eggs in the Vatican and just like,
Yeah, forgot
yeah.
that rotten egg smell doing, man. Oh, I hid an egg somewhere. I can't find it.
Is the
How
Pope
old was he, by the way?
88?
88. Damn.
Is the Pope allowed to eat deviled eggs?
No, they're probably like,
Can you make them blessed eggs?
yeah, they're blessed eggs or Jesus eggs. Or,
Is this blasphemy?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm sorry.
Why don't you ask him?
Ask the Pope?
Yeah.
Is it like a website like Ask Jesus?
AskPope.com. Can you email him?
Imagine how fucking weird I feel when I type Pornhub into AskPope.com.
Whoops.
Oops.
I mean, popes are known for
So anyway,
going too far.
all right. Well, hey, that was the GTR Easter version.
Easter version of GTR. Obviously, as you can see, when Devin wrote this, he was expecting it to be filmed on Easter Sunday, so it didn't happen,
Yep.
which is fine, But let's get into what were they thinking. And Kyle's not happy that we're talking about this, but the IHSA, which is Illinois High School Association, rules in favor to allow men in women's sports. Which
Ice.
obviously is probably more talking about the transgenders.
Right.
So it's probably still technically it's a man. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah, and it's not that I mind talking about this because I do have feelings on this, and especially, like I said, I've told many people ever since I've had daughters of my own that were very involved in sports, I have a different outlook on this in a lot of ways.
right? I mean, yeah.
And it boils down to a man in a girl's sport is a competitive advantage. Like, there's no questions about it. I'm sorry. There's not. Especially at a high school level. Boys have more muscle mass. The testosterone is more of a endorphin than the estrogen
Right.
as far as sports go. Like, it is a known fact. There's a competitive advantage.
Right.
And again, I have girls that, last year, my 10U girls softball team would have kicked the shit out of most 10U boy baseball teams. So when I'm saying there's a competitive
Yes.
advantage, I'm saying that there are times that these girls are more athletic than boys. But this is wrong.
I mean, you still got to make it fair. Like,
Right.
that's what sports is supposed to, not just competition is supposed to be fair.
Right.
Like, you want to compete with somebody that's equal or maybe a little bit better than you're not on a whole different playing field.
Right. And what I don't like about it is the way that the IHSA deflected this whole
100%,
situation.
yeah.
Like, so the background is President Trump, and I'm not getting into a debate. He's the current president. He's President Trump. He made a law that men were not allowed in women's sports.
Right.
And Maine was the first person to say we're not following that, I think. And the IHSA followed, and they said that would be against the Illinois Human Rights Act, against transgenders and stuff like that. So they said, no matter what we do, we're breaking the law. We're either breaking the Illinois Human Act right, or we're breaking the presidential mandate on this. So we aren't going to pick sides, and we're going to leave it the way it is.
Here's my thing though. So the IHSA is a non-for-profit billion-dollar organization that runs our sports
Yeah.
in a terrible fucking way. I mean, they can't even figure out how to not allow private schools to compete with public schools, which should be simple. So, you know, and me, who is probably shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff as a licensed IHSA official in sports, they're stupid. Everything they do is dumb.
And there's not consistency.
No.
Because the other part of this is when they reaffirmed that they were going to follow the Illinois Human Rights Act, and right or wrong, you can debate that all day. Again, we try to come into here and think, what were they thinking?
But
There's no consistency. Because at a national level, you have one thing. At the state level, you have another. But then they turned around and made the thing even more confusing, and they said that this applies to IHSA state level competitions,
Right.
and member schools can choose whatever they want to do during the regular season. So now during the regular season,
so
the schools get to choose.
exactly. So the school says, "Hey, no, we're not allowing this." Postseason rolls around. Hey, the state said you have to allow it now.
But did they qualify? Because if they didn't play,
But, I mean, if they qualify, then if the team qualifies,
Mhm.
you know, like I don't know if there's state mandates on how many games a player has to play. I couldn't tell you.
What about like track?
Track, you have to qualify for time, so that'd be a little
Right.
different.
If you didn't run all regular season, then you can't
Right.
go to state.
Yeah, you can't go to state. Yeah.
But that's the thing; it's so inconsistent.
Well, I don't know. So for state, you get sectionals. So sectional would be state. So yeah, you probably could. You could probably.
If you did well in sectionals,
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, like this guy has no time, so put him in this heat.
right?
You know, and it goes off your time, or if you win your heat, I guess. But
And then how does that look? I mean, on one hand, they earned it if they made a good time and they qualified, but how does that look for somebody else that say runs the 400 and they've had a great season, and then somebody who didn't run all season comes in and they qualify for state and now you don't?
but yeah.
And the whole thing's confusing. You have schools that can decide what they want to do. Then it's time for state opportunity, and the state decides what to do, but they're non-committal. And then you have the federal government saying something else altogether.
Well, here, how about this? Just run faster and play harder.
Yeah. Why don't you just run faster?
I'm just throwing the gym. Let's go. Turn that body, baby.
Run faster.
Yeah.
And I think it's another situation where, unfortunately, in my opinion, the IHSA did what Illinois government does and just deflected
Deflects,
it and made no fucking decision.
Yeah, I mean, and why would they have to? There's nothing forcing them to, hey, we have to make a decision. There's nothing putting any of that out there.
And in a way, and I know we're going to get kickback about this, in a way, are they jeopardizing the state athletes by defying a federal law
Oh, I think so.
if they lose
Yeah.
funding because of what the IHSA does,
Right.
and now your state athletes lost funding because of your decision? Are you doing what's right for the athlete?
So even now, you lose funding. But let's say you make it all the way to, let's say, the game before state. And the government, like President Trump, comes in and just shuts down everything, says you cannot play this,
Yeah.
or you lose federal funding for your entire state.
Yeah.
Now, what do we do there? You know, like, obviously, I don't think that will happen.
But if it did, you know, the state's making that decision, and maybe some schools, Chicago, Springfield, they're okay
But-
for a little bit. But like where we're from, small towns,
Oh, yeah,
you're
fucked.
done.
You're fucked.
That's
Right.
it.
Yeah, you're done. Like, you might as well just close the door and sell the school because they're not coming back from that.
Right.
You know, it's just nuts. Obviously, there's no good way to approach this topic, but really what we're trying to look for is trying to get into what people think in this category that get them here.
Right.
And obviously, it's hard to tell what the IHSA was thinking with this. Obviously, the main thought is, how can we keep the peace for everybody without making it look like we're the bad people?
Yeah.
But, like you said, they're deflecting.
Non-committal.
But
And they literally said that we are not choosing sides, but you did.
you did. You chose a
Like,
side.
no action is still action.
Right.
And I think we said that on a recent episode too.
Yep.
Like, no action is still
Yep.
action.
So, you know, and either way, whatever side, whatever one they choose, they're gonna upset somebody.
Right.
That's everything in life, and it's just up to you to decide, you know, which battle do you want to pick. You know,
And I think when you're doing something that can jeopardize the statewide athletes, that's
it's
rough.
not right. Exactly, I agree
So,
with that.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I was at on that. And I, you know, the whole reason is obviously that's a very emotionally charged topic
Oh, it is
in the country right now. But I don't want to shy away from that either.
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean,
So,
we don't want to shy away from anything. The whole thing is not to get in here and debate the transgender. We're debating on what's going on here. Like, what we're debating on what were they thinking part of it.
right, and the lack of action
Yes, yeah.
being in action.
Yeah.
So, and you know, hopefully we don't lose anybody with that. But we're truly just here debating,
Right.
which is what we've said from episode 1 is lost.
Right.
Nobody wants to debate anymore.
Yeah.
So,
That's not a debate. It gets, and then one thing is I tell everybody, like, you can't debate if you start doing name calling.
yeah,
If you start being derogative, like, oh, you're a dumbass. Oh, okay, like this conversation is going nowhere.
right,
But if you can have a friendly conversation, you can be civil, you can do it without yelling. You know, like
Yeah.
some people believe that just I spoke louder than you, I won the debate. That's not how it works.
right,
You know, there's people out there like that, or there's people out there that when they're trying to do a debate, they just talk the entire time.
or they just their opinions, right? They refuse to see another point of view,
Right.
and that's not debating either.
Yeah, you know.
So,
And I like this because I feel like this has given us, we bring up every topic every week, and it makes us like have an open dialogue on things and open our mind up a little bit to see how things are thinking. And it's kind of interesting. I feel like I do a lot more research now.
for sure, and I feel like we say this every week too, and it's gotten a little bit better. I had a very good dialogue with some people on Facebook the other day about something, but like, talk to us. Like, we're not sitting here like this is our opinion and fuck you guys for what you think. Like, comment, give us your opinion. We'd like talking about this stuff. So if you disagree with us or you have something to add, just comment it. You know, I don't want our comment section to turn into a big fucking keyboard warrior
Right, yeah,
thing
we
or
won't
name
respond to
calling.
that.
Like, we're not doing that. But I mean, talk to us because that's why we're here. You know,
We might be hillbillies and dumb, but we're not dumb hillbillies.
right. And speaking of social media, since I brought that up, I do want to say thank you to some of the podcasts that have been there to help us out recently. We mentioned once, Just an Average Podcast
Yeah.
has given us a lot of advice on things. Dial the Wild has worked with us some. There's a new podcast that I was talking about. We had a dialogue the other day, which is Pitch Grid Podcast. They've been sharing our stuff for us. And Yapping Under the Influence talked to us about getting affiliates and things like that. So it's good to have that community.
So, speaking of all that, we at the Garage Time Podcast have sponsored our first event in the community.
Yeah.
At the podcast, you know, we're sponsoring a hole in a golf outing with another podcast, Dial the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's kind of cool, you know. Like, granted, I mean, it's kind of a smaller fun, but, you know, we're doing it. And the whole thing is we want to talk about stuff we're passionate about, but we also want to give back to the community, obviously, because that's what our whole life is based around. And it feels good to be doing that. Obviously, we're not looking for the recognition, but as something in the podcast, we are doing it. Like, we're talking about trying to bring money into the podcast, but we're wanting to give it back out. You know, I'm not asking for you guys to buy my beach house yet.
Right. And we've got several ideas for things that we want to do to help the community. But I mean, that just goes into you guys supporting us. So I think right now, if you went across all of the social media things that we're involved in, we're just over 400 followers. And that's a hell of a lot better than we were 9 episodes ago.
But yeah, I'll take it.
So,
I mean, we're a little over 2 months into this thing, and it's been fun.
yeah, for sure. And that's the other thing I was going to say. So we usually, I'm jumping ahead because there's some other things we want to talk about. But when it comes to social media, as you know, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. But just to give you guys an idea, we're now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, Deezer, Listen Notes, and Player FM. So what I'm saying is, you can find us. If wherever you have a podcast, we're there.
Garage time, let's go.
Yeah.
Follow us, get to know us. Who knows, maybe one day you come on and join us on an episode.
We love guest stars.
I know, I think Crystal had a lot of fun last week.
Yeah.
You know. And,
Hopefully we'll have another guest star on Thursday.
yes.
When we go live for the
Cool,
draft.
Yeah, you know, get somebody there. Maybe even the person that won the drawing last week, the one person that did the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I could get him to join.
That'd be cool. That would be an
Well,
idea.
He was a buddy of mine that we played high school football together and ended up playing some semi-pro stuff together too as well. So
Yeah, I mean, maybe he would join us. I know we've reached out to some other people. So, you know, like, follow, subscribe. We're here. New episodes drop every Wednesday.
every Wednesday, we're looking forward to keep putting this show out and keeping it on the road.
Yeah. So I guess until next time.
It's garage time.